So office fees pages are something that we ask all of our practices for and really recommend that you place on your website. An office fees page is a page that talks about each of your services and the cost to your patients to secure those services. When we first started asking for this, we did get a lot of pushback. There was a lot of docs and dentists who were nervous about placing their cost and fees on their website. But more and more folks are willing to do it. And now we're up to about probably 35% of our practices actually have this page on their website. And the reason it's so important, the reason we push for it, is especially since COVID. During COVID, safety and security became a huge factor of patient trust. And now that that's kind of leveled itself back off, there still is this factor of building trust, and the idea of trust that comes through transparency is more important than it ever has been. So while the level of safety and security itself kind of dropped off after COVID and after 2020, the what's needed to provide trust for patients and users is still something we really need to pay attention to, and a really critical component to getting new patients and having people convert on your website and just through your digital channels. And that trust often comes through transparency. So if you equate it to something like when you're going to the doctor, you're going to go to the ER, you're going to have surgery. A lot of times we go into the medical world and we think, okay, I know we need to have this. I don't know what it's going to cost me, but I know it's going to be expensive. And we just cross our fingers that the number isn't too high when we get the bill. The days of those types of situations are becoming less and less. Folks want to know ahead of time what a procedure is going to cost them, what a service is going to cost them. And they really hold in high regard practices and offices that are willing to put those office fees and be super transparent about what their costs are out to the world. So it plays a large factor in building that trust with your patient base, building that trust with new patients who might be looking for a practice or looking for a new dentist, and letting them know that you are okay and comfortable with placing your costs and fees on your website. The other factors that make it super important is having a cost and fees page is going to increase traffic to your financial pages on your website by about 20%. It's going to increase traffic overall to your website by about 15%. And we know that 8 to 10% of people who visit your website are going to convert to new patients. So if 8 to 10% of new patients are people who visit are going to convert, increasing the number of folks that visit your website through SEO and optimization is going to increase the number of new patients you have. And a cost and fees page is a really great way to do that. We also know that you could cut back on about 25 to 35% of the questions coming from the phone by having office fees listed on your website, because 25 to 35% of folks calling in have certain questions around cost and fees around your services. Today, we would say that the practices who are in the 95% percentile of top performing practices have a cost and fees page on their website. So it's another testament that it's really something you should consider, something we'll ask about. If you're not comfortable with it, totally okay. But we want you to know why we're asking and why we think it's an important function of your website, your brand, and just the growth of your practice overall.